This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of the annual Purge sanctioned by the U.S. government. Weapons of Class 4 and lower have been authorized for use during the Purge. All other weapons are restricted. Government officials of ranking 10 have been granted immunity from the Purge and shall not be harmed. Commencing at the siren, any and all crime, including murder, will be legal for 12 continuous hours. Police, fire, and emergency medical services will be unavailable until tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. when the Purge concludes. Blessed be our new founding fathers and America, a nation reborn. May God be with you all.
Are you ready to purge, ladies and gentlemen? Because I know I am.
Yeah! Oh, wait, it's just a movie.
No, it's not.
Oh, we all wish it was.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about The Purge. And this is our first entry in the Purge franchise series. We're going to be doing all the films in the franchise. I think there's 5 of them now. And it should be a lot of fun.
I enjoy these films.
This one came out in 2013 and was directed by James DeMonaco. It stars Ethan Hawke in the main role, who did this movie for $3,000 and some royalties.
Oh.
He did that because he is a friend of Jason Blum's. Now, this is an earlier Blumhouse production, and I think it's one of the films that kind of helped shape the franchise or the production company to be what it is now.
Okay.
So I'm very grateful for this film.
Yes.
One night a year, all crime in the slightly futuristic or alternate timeline United States is legal. All crime up to and including murder.
Yes.
It's called the annual Purge, and it is basically so people can let loose their darker side and get it out of their system for the year to make a more peaceful society.
I don't know if that makes any sense, though.
One family thinks that they are nice and secure in their basically fortified home.
Which
they are not.
Yeah. No. Which he has designed.
Yes, the main character, Ethan Hawke's character, designed a security system just for this night, and well, there's flaws, and he didn't think that they would ever be targeted, so he didn't think it would matter.
No. He thought it would be just enough of a deterrent just to see the security and go after something softer, easier.
But something I learned a long time ago, nothing is impregnable.
No.
This movie made $89 million. Now, that doesn't sound like a lot by a lot of standards.
Yeah.
But when you compare it to its $2.7 million budget, and them not thinking it would do a damn thing at all, this is a fucking hit.
This is.
And in the world of horror, that's a lot of fucking money.
It is.
Horror movies are not giant summer blockbusters.
No.
Most horror movies don't make that much.
Nope.
Halloween Kills making $200 million.
That was
2018
great.
making $200 million. The new Scream making $180 million or whatever it was, $130 million. And that's incredible for a horror film. Most films that are even the best ones, like the new Candyman, I think made $90 million. That's about normal for a good performing film in horror.
Yes.
A lot of horror films don't make shit at the box office. So.
They don't, and it's because of the rated R rating. Parents won't take their kids. And a lot of times that's why we get some of these pieces of shit, PG-13 films that you go, God, this could have been better if they would have done this and this, but it would have gotten an R rating.
There's that, and there's the fact that the critics kind of shit on horror films.
They always have, unless it's the old classics. Mm. And even back when those films came out, weren't they shitted on?
Yeah.
And now they're considered masterpieces. Mm. I think one person we have to thank for horror getting some recognition was Alfred Hitchcock.
Definitely. I mean, he is the master.
Yes.
And his film Psycho brokered the masses to horror films. But, like I said, this is a very well-performing horror movie by any standards, even today's standards.
Yes.
It also spawned 3 sequels, 1 prequel, and a television series. So even though this was, again, panned by the critics, it seems to have done well by everybody else.
Yeah.
You know?
Again, the masses say, fuck you, critics, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
And they usually don't.
No.
People see, a lot of critics, too, also forget that a critic's job was meant to promote films.
Yeah.
And not just tear them apart.
And trash them.
Whatever. In this film, we have the white dress ladies, the white dress killer ladies.
Yep.
They were actually dressed that way to not give salutes to, but to give, I don't know what the word is, to emulate the Manson family women.
Okay. Yeah,
it wasn't done for a positive, it was done for a negative, to show these fuckers are kind of nuts.
Yeah.
Even though they were up in the open trying to pretend that they're not, you know.
Oh, they were batshit crazy.
Guys, this is a movie that I really like, and I have no cons for. I'm going to talk a little bit of spoilers here, so if you haven't seen it, you know, you can turn the video off here.
Yeah.
I fucking hated those bitches, the fucking neighbors. Smile on their face at the beginning. Oh, we love you. Oh, we have our cookies. Oh, you know,
you could just tell how.
And they were just, I know. And they, at the end of the movie, they act like you think they're saving them, and then they turn up to be killers too.
Yep.
And me, that was just fucking hilarious, and I love the way she handled
the opportunity.
You know, she handled it. You know, the way the main character, the
wife,
Ethan Hawke's wife, handled it was perfect. She didn't kill them, which she could have.
Yep.
She made them wait until the purge was over, and now they have to go back out in shame, basically. And I would personally move out of that neighborhood, but you know, that's just me.
Yeah, I would too. The house is already fucked. Mm-hmm. Let's just move out. But I do have a question, though. At the end of the movie, what happens to all the guys in their vehicles? Because they had some nice vehicles there. Since it's on your property and they're dead, do you get their vehicles? Do you get
like
their
nice
weapons?
Big fucking truck.
Yeah, that truck was nice. Hey, I survived this. Do I get to keep this now?
Yeah.
Do I get to keep their guns, too?
I would.
I would, too. Definitely. That is a good question, though.
I love how in this movie people are preparing, and these aren't really my pros either.
Yeah,
talking about the
we're just talking about it.
I love how like the neighbor was outside preparing for the purge. Like you can tell he was purged. He was sharpening this giant fucking machete.
Sharp.
And like he was right out in public. Like people knew what he was going to do. Nobody, and they were just like, okay.
I hope that's not for me.
Yeah. I just found that to be absolutely hilarious. And he was not one of the neighbors that, you know, came after them.
No.
He was not one of the neighbors that was smiling in their face.
He wasn't one of the richer ones either. You notice his house was smaller.
Well, he was straight up just getting ready to fucking...
Oh, yeah.
He didn't give a fuck.
Oh, yeah. I bet you he was going to go kill his boss.
I'm sure he had a list.
Yeah.
I'm sure he had a list. Makes me wonder who all would die if the purge was real.
I know people personally that they would have a line outside their house.
Yep.
They're that much of a fucking scumbag.
So to actually start off the pros,
yes.
I love the concept of this film.
I do too.
It's almost like it's the concept of a dystopian future, or if they're trying to pretend they're a dystopian future, where they use this one night of controlled anarchy to just... I shouldn't say dystopian, I meant utopian, I apologize. This utopian country, which they are not by any stretch as you go farther into the franchise and learn what's going on. But you think, oh, this is what, you know, this is how they get all their aggression out. There's probably no crime. It's because we get a very small, tight window into the future of this country in this film. It wasn't a very big budget. They didn't get a lot of room to work with, so they kept it very contained. And that is one of the biggest criticisms I've heard of this movie. Oh, well, they're talking about this whole purge that goes across America, but the whole film takes place in the house.
But look at the budget.
That's what they had to work with. And they only had 19 days to film it in.
I'd say pretty good in 19 days.
I like the fucking concept of this movie.
Yes.
I think it is fucking dope. And honestly, I wish the purge was real. I do. There are people that I want to kill.
Me too. All right. I want to get into this too. It's another budget thing. But it worked very well. The opening of this film, the opening credits showing all these different security footages of previous purges. And I'm wondering, are those real security footages from something? It could have been.
From a riot, from a murder. I mean,
his cameras are everywhere.
I doubt it because they'd have to get permissions and stuff, but it'd be kind of cool if it was.
Yeah, but it was a cool way to open the film.
That's one of my pro speaking points as well. I love that opening. I like the way they did it. And I like the way they ended with us hearing like the 911 call tapes and things like that.
Yeah.
You know, the news feed of the Purge, you know, what happened after this night. I thought that was kind of cool. Especially when they're like, this is one of the most successful purges in history. And I'm like, wow.
Honestly, though, I wouldn't just, you know, because they ban you from going after politicians and shit.
Mm-hmm.
I would also ban people from going after sanitation workers because somebody got to clean this shit up the next day.
Yeah, and you hear the sirens and stuff going out right away the next day. So I wonder, you know, who does clean all that shit up?
Yeah.
Who cleans it all up? Do they have insurances? Like, is there a purge insurance?
Purge insurance.
So if your house gets fucked up like these people's did, they get to fix it?
Yeah.
Is there a purge insurance for our neighbors tried to murder us? They may try again next year?
Or a life insurance?
You know. Or I can't do anything to them now because the purge ain't around. But they just tried to kill me. Why can't I do anything about it? You know?
Because it's legal.
I actually only had 3 talking points, so I'm on my last one here.
Okay.
But I just really enjoy this movie all around. This is a really cool, awesome movie.
It's a fun ride.
This movie and this franchise going forward has a lot to say about our society. It has a lot to say about our politics. And usually that kind of thing doesn't bother me in films as long as it's done decently, as long as it doesn't get in the way of the movie. But movies, especially movies that have been released lately, just fucking inundate it and drown it and kill the story of the film. This one did it right. It had something to say about society, kind of the way the original Candyman did, and it did it right.
And it let the story get their point across.
Yeah.
Not shove this down your throat.
Yeah.
Shove it down your throat.
Mm-hmm.
No, they let the story
The story does the work in all of these movies.
Yes.
And we're going to see that going more and more forward. And they do take on issues of the day.
Yeah.
And some of the future films, we get to take on the immigration issue that's been up recently.
Yeah.
We get to take on the race issue that's been up recently in future films. So that, but the way they handle it in this is done so well. They let, like you said, the story and the narrative push the point. Instead of saying, like in Black Christmas, the new Black Christmas, oh, all men are bad, all men are. They just kept saying it over and over again, talking about, and it was just being pushed down your throat to where it just came off flat out as man hate.
Yes.
And that's why that movie sucked. That's why that movie made really no money.
Yeah.
And that's why people hate it to this day, and I hate it. You know, so.
Hell, there you go.
Any other pros you got?
No pros. There's only one thing, and it was kind of a nitpicky thing that I didn't like. Was, why are you going to exert all this energy to wrestle a guy who's already bound?
Yeah.
Let him flop around on the goddamn floor and wear himself out. Why are you wrestling with him? You've already bound his legs and hands.
And it fucked shit over in the first place.
Why?
Yeah.
Why are you... Let him just flop there. Just stand there and watch. And then if he's gonna... You have the gun. If it looks like he's about ready to get out of that, just point it at him and say, okay, you're going to stop now? No? Bang.
That's true.
But that's nitpicky. It really is.
It didn't hurt the movie at all.
No, it didn't. It was just one of those, why is he doing that? He's already tied up.
I don't know, guys, but I do know that I enjoyed this movie.
Yes.
I think it's badass. And I can't wait to see you next time for the Purge Anarchy.
Hell yeah.
So we'll be back to discuss that next time. Peace out, y'all.
And good night.
Next time with BroncoJuggalo and Bill, we will review The Night Flyer.
Vision of the dead in the inbred or backwoods motherfucker born inside a tool shed. Mama never loved me, never paid me no attention. Daddy was a rapist, 30 years upstate, 40 county prison. And I was raised by my own will, surviving off of scraps and bones, bear traps and roadkill. Spending my days and my nights all alone, and my mind is gone. There's something wrong with my dome. They should've put me in the